We're looking at Webull, and these are going to be the basic things that I use on my everyday trading. As you see, I have the 1 minute chart. You know, if you're going to look and see, I have the ADX, I have the money flow indicator, I also have the RSI and the MACD, which all help me. I basically take this and I line up everything. You know, I'll see where it's going. You know, if the MACD is below the histogram or below the middle line, the center line, I'll go like, okay, I'm going to be leaning more towards puts. If the MACD is above, I'm going to be leaning more toward calls, if that makes sense. You know, the RSI also, like I said, I'm going to go 50, over 50, I'm in an uptrend. Under 50, I'm in a downtrend, if that makes sense to you. The money flow indicator, that's a whole nother story. I'll explain that in another video, but let's get to what I like to use on Webull. This is not TradingView. Webull is a lot easier because you don't have to pay anything. So let's look at Webull real quick. Let's get to what my moving averages are on Webull. Let's go. The moving averages I like to use on Webull are the 30 EMA, the 9 EMA. Let me circle those for you guys. The 30 EMA, the 9 EMA, and the 200 EMA, which that should help you guys understand how I really like to do things. Now, also what I like to have is the vwap. There we go. Now, the vwap acts as a support and resistance also at times. I love to use both of them. Now, let me go to the simplest way that I would ever trade in life. The simplest way, no matter how you look at it, I would always go, if you guys don't want to have so much on there, go, bam, take away the 30-day and the 200 and just leave that blue line. And I'm basically out here, like right here, I'm basically saying, okay, I'm only trading the crosses. The cross of the 9 EMA to the VWAP, if that makes sense. The VWAP is the yellow, the 9 is the light blue. Those would be my beginning. If I was one of you guys and I was looking at this right now, I'd be like, hey, Trill, oh man, I used the wrong screen name. Hey, how would I start my trading journey? If somebody came to ask me that, I would say, if I was you, I would start with the 9 and the VWAP. That's how I would go. And I would basically ride the RSI and the MACD until the end of time. There would be 4 indicators that I use. 9 EMA. The VWAP. Right there. MACD. RSI. Now, I would only use those if I was a newbie and I wanted to paper trade. I would only use those. I would go in and I'd say, okay, when am I going to get this? Boom, right there. You see that? It's dropping below. And what do I see here? How do I know when to get in? This is what a lot of people will probably ask. Like, Trill, how do you know when you get in? So you see the cross right there. What's happening? We have 1 candle below it. We have 2 candles below it. Soon as this candle closed, I would open a put. And we're going to watch how this works. As this candle closes, I open a put. So boom, 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 boom. I would get out right here. When that candle closes above that, I would get out. These are scary. These are very, very scary. Now, here's the question that a lot of people are going to ask me. Man, it'd have been more money if you'd have got in on the cross. Well, that's the problem. Getting in on the cross says a lot. And it's very, you know, you're jumping the gun. I wouldn't jump the gun just yet. You guys aren't, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I wouldn't jump the gun just yet. But hey, sometimes in this situation, people say, what they would do is they would get in and they would exit. So let's say you would get in right here, this candle. They would exit right here. That's still some pretty good profit. Now let's go look at where you would have gotten money in. Now let's see. So you would have gotten in at the open $395.25, and you would have gotten out $394.50. That's a pretty good, that's maybe like 10-20%. No, let me stop lying. That's like 10%, 5 to 10%. I say 5 to 10% at best, 5 to 10%. So then the question would be, well, when would you know when to get back in? So some people will just be like, okay, I'm done for the day. Or some would say, you know what, I'm not done for the day. When I see this happen, it goes above and then it comes back down and it gets back into play. But, you know, at the same time, this is why I have the other indicator there. But I don't use that indicator right now because we're just using these two. So the question is, well, would you ever get back in? I would probably try to get back in, but that's like, you know, if we want to. But right now I'm just using a crossover as my entry position. I'm not using anything else. Now we can add another indicator, but I love using that crossover because it's so straightforward and it lets you know everything else. And another thing that people have told me, the alligator mouth is very important. As this widens, that's letting you know that you can stay in, which is something I haven't done. They say as the moving average and the VWAP stay separated, it lets you know, hey, you can stay in as long as you want. But as they come closer to each other, you know, you do as you wish. Now, right here, let's say, boom. Right here, there's another cross. There's a cross on the MACD. Where are we at? With the cross happening, we are at 58 on the RSI, but we're slowly going down, and then we pop back up right here. So here's the question for you. Would you have waited until you would have had at least be waiting or looking at it? And that's one of the things that I don't like about it, is that it doesn't give you, you can't really watch it like you want to, but you can put forth the effort to watch it. You know, if you don't have a job, I tend to, or you start late, you don't have to not have a job, but you know what I'm saying? So let's say you do it like that. Now, let's say you would have got in there. Now you ride. You ride. Now, look, the green candle closed above it, closed right there, but then the red one kept closing down. Now, no matter how hard they closed above that 9 EMA, they never got back to where they were supposed to go. And you actually have pretty good profit from like 96 all the way down here to 94. And I think 94 would have been, I'm not going to talk about the 200. We'll add all those in later. But I've already drowned out most of your time with an 8-minute video. So we're going to ride out of here. This was about VWAP and the 9 EMA and how we're traded on TradingView. I'm out, guys.